Okay, morning. I'm, as I was introduced earlier, Richard Eastburn from Assa Abloy. And I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do, who Assa Abloy is as a group, why that's important when it comes to the product development that we do. Product overview, because we do physical locks, so it's always good to see what's available there. And then talk a bit more about the software solutions we have, because it's the software solutions that then drives the integrations that we can do, both mobile and with people like Interroll, where we're controlling how things operate in the hotel room itself. Assa Abloy, I mean, we're part of a huge group. We have over 300-400 companies that make up the group, and that gives us a breadth of different experiences throughout the group, and it enables us to develop lots of things that, lots of technologies that will go across multiple different parts of the group. So the mobile access that we use in hospitality is also used by Yale in the home market for using mobile phones to open a front door at somebody's property. So it's important that having that backdrop enables us to then do many different technological things within our group without having to look outside and purchase that in from elsewhere. In terms of the hospitality sector, we're installed in pretty much every country in the world. We have over 10 million hotel rooms with our products installed on them. Some of them still using magnetic stripe technology, a lot of them still using that. So there's still a lot of progression to make with hotels, bringing them to the latest level of technology. Going on, sort of swiftly talking about some of the products that we have. And the product enables us to use the technology to enhance the guest journey. So we have products where we rather than having a door lock on the door, we put the reader on the wall next to the door. We can communicate with the door lock and open the door in a whole multitude of different ways, and that then enables more integrations to be done through companies like Interroll, where we're giving more outputs and more functionality for how the door lock can trigger certain actions within the room. We have the Essence product, where we put all of the technology, reader technology, within the door edge itself, so there's a minimalistic appearance on the door. Signature, which is the door lock that we've got installed in this property. And it was the first lock that we had where we separated the reader from the handle, which then enables us to please lots of architects by having a wider choice of door handles, and architects get very excited about door handles. I don't see why, but yeah. The classic lock, which we first came up with the design in the 1970s, we've kept it, and the reason we've kept it is because there's I don't know, 5 million of these installed globally, and whenever you touch a fire door, particularly after things like Grenfell, and there's a whole heap of repercussions that will come out in within the next sort of 6 to 9 months, where there's going to be more focus on how we look at fire doors and how we protect fire doors and how we inspect them in the future. So keeping that footprint, adding the RFID functionality and mobile functionality to it, means that we can upgrade older door locks without having to replace the doors, which obviously becomes very expensive. We have a whole range of lever handles, standard ones, some standard finishes, but, and this is where the architects get excited, we can do an unlimited number of lever handles, and we can actually do bespoke lever handles as well. So if somebody wants to come up with their own design through a group company, we can actually make a bespoke lever. So hardware kind of done. We then do exit devices. We can control car parks, front entrances, automatic doors, things like that. So that and as well as lifts, which we've got the lift readers in here. So right through the guest journey from arrival at the property, we're securing each and every step of their journey. But this is where, to me, the physical door lock is always good to talk about, and say, people get excited about the colours and the designs, but really it's about what we can do with the software that we put in and how the software then can integrate with other companies to deliver benefits to the guest, to the hotel, and to the staff. We have 2 platforms for software. Visionline has been around now for quite some years and is an on-premise software. And we've got 3 versions of it. Offline, where basically the card is communicating between, or the phone, is communicating between the software and the door lock, and that is what is updating the door lock. We have a wired solution. Generally, and the reason we have a wired solution is really for cruise ships, the cruise industry, because wireless doesn't work too well in a metal box, so a wired solution is much better. And then we've got wireless, and the wireless solution is running on a Zigbee platform, so all of our door locks can then be connected wirelessly, and we have our own proprietary system, network that we can use, or we can use a number of different Wi-Fi platforms that also integrate Zigbee as well, or in the case of Intrel, using a connection between us and their in-room controllers. And I'll just pick some of the highlights of why an online system is actually good, beneficial to the property, and can add value. Obviously, standalone door locks are powered by batteries. Guests don't know what the flashing lights mean, they just want to get into the room. Generally, staff ignore them as well. So actually having low battery warnings and reports that we can generate from online systems means that the property can prevent the door lock from failing, because if the batteries go flat, obviously it prevents somebody from getting in. So you get less, and you can be more prepared on how you maintain the property and how you're going to be proactive in changing batteries. Automatically deactivate a guest card at checkout, so that the card stops working when they check out at reception. And some of the important ones here, door ajar alarm. So if the door's not closing properly, it can then come up on a report so that maintenance can then go and adjust the door so that it is closing properly. And generally when people walk out from a door, they walk off down the corridor and they expect it to close, and the same when they walk into the room. And I guess everyone, when they've been in a hotel, has lost a key card because it's just a bit of plastic. So on the converse side of that, it's very easy for somebody to pick it up. And generally the key card from this property is, if you find one, it's going to fit in one of the doors, it's going to open one of the doors in the property. With an online system, we can set it so that if someone's tried their card on 2, 3, 4 rooms in succession, it automatically cancels the card. And at the same time, we can send a text message, an email alert, notifying somebody in the property that there's somebody on floor 2 that's trying the card in several doors. So we can be very proactive in the way that we secure the property as well, or help the guests find the correct room because they've been at the bar too long. I say SMS and text alerts that we can send. Our latest platform for software is cloud-based, called Vostio, and we are in the sort of early stages of developing the software and adding more functionality to it. So, looking at overview, put everything on the screen. It's cloud-based. We're using Amazon Cloud to host the database, if you like, and then on-premise we have an encoder, which also, if the internet goes down, still enables the property to encode cards, and then we'll reconnect to the cloud when the internet connection is back up. To ensure that we have backward compatibility, because we've got lots of links with PMS companies for integrations, we've come up with a converter that enables us to have that same on-premise link with PMS companies, so that there's no interruption in those integrations that we have. And yes, there are APIs that we can have for cloud-to-cloud integration as well. looking at, I say, Vostio is available now. The things that we are continuing to develop on there is the online functionality. So this hotel has online connected locks. That technology is coming with Vostio, so that we're able to then remotely access the audit trail and information from each door lock. Central control, reporting, and Vostio is designed as a multi-property platform, so you can see what's going on within one portal at multiple properties across an estate, so you can get lots and lots of additional feedback. And it will, and is doing, is already providing far more flexibility in the integrations we're able to develop with partner companies. One thing that's also come about, and I thought I'd touch on, because it's interesting for properties now that we tend to have fewer people in properties as properties are quieter, which is location solutions, and it's a bolt-on to Vostio. It's cloud-based, and it's designed. It's born out of a requirement in legislation in certain states in the US where for housekeeping staff, they have to have a way of tracking where those people are, and for them to have a panic button so that they can be located in case there's that they're attacked or there's an event there whilst they're cleaning rooms. So it's designed around maid distress originally, but it's based on a Bluetooth platform with Bluetooth beacons around the property, and then layering onto that, we can do wayfinding for guests within apps. We can enhance the guest experience, so you know who's coming into the property. You can welcome the guest by name, things like that. But the part that I think is going to be more interesting is the operational side that we can assist with. So you can have little Bluetooth beacons on room service trays. It will show you when the room service tray is outside of the room, so you can go and collect it. It will, we can put tags on, for example, coffee machines, and you can put a geofence, so that if the coffee machine moves past the entrance door to the room, an alarm can go off and send somebody to retrieve the coffee machine before it disappears. So there's lots of things that we can do with that. We can also do condition monitoring, so you can have a little beacon that goes onto an air conditioning unit. It learns the vibrations. If the vibrations change over time, it can send an alert so that it may be needing servicing or attention to it before it fails. So enough about the sort of bits. Obviously, one of the things we're talking about today is the integrations that we do, and there are a whole host of integrations that we do. Property management is the obvious one for checking in guests, checking out, elevators, parking systems, and elevators. Not that your elevators here are simple, but all we've got is a reader within the elevator that can give floor control, so you can actually limit what floor people can go to if you want to. But for the destination elevators where you're walking up, we have to do a much more complex integration with the lift company, so that we can then determine and send to the lift company what floor that particular guest is staying on. So there are some very good things on elevators that we can do, and it's quite good to see the end result from that. Energy management, as well as mobile access, point of sale, so we can use wallets in resorts, for hotels, things like that. But obviously, mobile access, and you'll like the picture of sea containers there as well. But mobile access, we've got three ways of doing it, and I was asked earlier if we've got an app. Yes, we've got an app. It doesn't integrate, it doesn't do anything. The reason we've got it is to prove to people when we go out selling that it actually works. It opens the door lock and does what it says on the tin, and enables people to test it and actually show it working in their property. We're not an app company, we're not going to be an app company. What we want is for people to integrate to our system. We provide a software development kit, which is what Nonius have integrated into their app, and it seamlessly then connects to our cloud servers as and this uses the mobile key into the app. And so, integration partners are extremely important to us, and that's why we've come up with the software development kits to enable us to work with partners. And yeah, we have 80 plus partners that we work with. Yes, there's ones that obviously we prefer and we work very closely with. See partners here today. One thing that for the future that's going to be quite exciting when it comes about, and it's due out in the autumn, is the integration with the Apple Wallet. And I think that will also move mobile access into another sort of generation of ease of use, and will further enhance what we can do with mobile access. Looking at some of the other integrations that we do, we can do a server-to-server integration. So our server from the online system gets a lot of information coming back to it, and then from there we can open that up to another company to take events from that server to then trigger certain things happening in the room. So we can say door lock's been opened, turn the lights on, something like that. The other way that we do it, and this is the integration we've got with Intel, for example, where we integrate via Zigbee to their in-room controller, and through that we can then pass over events. So we can pass over an event that the guest has arrived for the first time, turn the welcome scene lighting on. I know Intel are going to go into this in a bit more detail, so I won't bore you too much with it. On subsequent guest visits to the room, we're not going to turn the welcome scene lighting on, we're going to turn the lights on that they left on when they left the room, we're going to put the heat back to the same temperature when they left the room. So it's as if everything has been on the whole time they've been away, and they don't see any differences. So it's really about, through those integrations, improving the guest experience and making the guests really believe that they're fully in control of everything whilst the hotel is saving money. And finally, we have, with a number of partners, Ruckus being one of them, through their Wi-Fi access points, they also integrate Zigbee. So through their Wi-Fi points, we can then bring our locks online and not then have to put in a secondary network as we have done in the past. So it gives far more flexibility in terms of how we can roll out online systems and give that online functionality at a far reduced cost and within one network. So there's only one network to maintain within the property. And I know that Nonius is obviously a major partner of Ruckus as well. So, and that concludes my presentation. So hopefully that was useful. Thank you.